This video on First Updates Now is made possible by viewers like you and also the following sponsors. Kettering University has over 25 pre-college camps and learning experiences available, from computer science and engineering to inspiring future women engineers, leadership development, and first-based camps for first graders to graduating high school seniors. Magna and GM-sponsored camp fee scholarships are available. Email ctaylor@kettering.edu for more information.
Hello everyone, coming up on FTC Top 25, we have our results for the Pre-Champs Top 25, and they're in and comprised of your votes from the community. We have teams from 5 countries on the list and multiple US states. So let's get ready for the Pre-Champs PowerPlay FTC Top 25.
This video on First Updates Now is made possible by viewers like you and also the following sponsors. Kettering University is looking for talented robotics students who want to continue learning and innovating in a hands-on, real-world experience format. Kettering University representatives will be at dozens of FIRST events this season, including the championship. Go to kettering.edu/first to see which events you can meet a Kettering University representative.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Fun FTC. Tonight's show is also a little different as our PowerPlay World Championship kicks off tomorrow. So we're going to start with our Pre-Champs Top 25, where we reveal the top 25 teams you all voted for, as we normally do. And then special for this show is that every single team who makes our top 25 will either be shipped an awesome T25 sticker or receive it just at Worlds at their pit. After our top 25, we're going to start our FTC pre-champ show, where we're going to go through all 4 divisions, presenting 6 teams we think are really of note, 2 top locks, 2 contenders, and 2 dark horses. And we also have a ton of giveaways throughout the show. So make sure you stay tuned to hear how to enter and win. So we have a couple new hosts tonight, so I think we'll just go around and introduce everyone. Hello, I'm Abhas. I'm our lead FTC fun host. Jessica, you want to introduce yourself?
Of course. Hello, I'm Jessica, and I'm from Team 8565 Technibots.
Caden?
Hello, I'm Caden. I'm from Team 14725 Java the Huts.
And I'm Declan. I'm from Team 22161 MTech Dark Matter.
All right, let's just jump right into our final PowerPlay Top 25. Caden, who's going to take our number 25 spot?
All right, in the 25th place is our Freight Frenzy World Winning Alliance captain, Team 17713 Delta Force from Romania. They had a strong run this season and ended as the finalist alliance captain at the Romanian National Championship. Their rebuilt robot is very similar to the style of the robot from last year, simple, fast. We did see them attend MTI last year, and hopefully they'll make an appearance at some off-season event this summer.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of crazy that our top 25, like the number 25th team, is last year's World's Winning Alliance captain. You know, just really shows you the strength of teams this year and like how deep this list is going to get. So, Declan, you want to just move on to the next team?
Yep. So in 24th place, we have Team 16158 VC Silver Circus from Virginia City, Nevada. This is this team's first time on the top 25 list, and they have become a real powerhouse, coming into Worlds with an OPR of 154. They are equipped with a very consistent 1+5 auto and a unique dual arm depositing system. This team also seems to have a really good strategy down for ensuring that they get those crucial ownership and circuit points, earning them a 30-1 win-loss record going into Worlds. I'm really excited to see how their strategies will work out and evolve at Worlds, when most matches will have all the cones in play on the field.
Yeah, no, I think that dual arm design is something we haven't seen from the majority of teams this year. You know, single arm is definitely the traditional design, but VC Silver Circus looks to be able to pull it off pretty well. Caden, Jessica, any thoughts?
Yeah, that intake arm reminds me of High Definition from last year. Definitely an interesting design. Not very common.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about how far that arm sticks out, but you know, this video is a little old from their Nevada championship, so hopefully, you know, they've had some time to think about what they're going to do at Worlds, where there, I'm sure, will be a lot more robot-to-robot contact. All right, on to our 23rd place. In 23rd, we have Team 19458 Equilibrium.exe from Potomac, Maryland. They have been on our top 25 for the past couple months, and coming into Houston, looks like they have a new bot. With this team, consistency is the name of the game. With 11 qualification matches, I think that'll be one of their strongest advantages that they really have to lean into, and that'll contribute to a super high ranking. we saw a great reveal from them on Friday night, and looks like the main difference between this robot and their old one is instead of a static arm, it moves and they have a horizontal extension um, for the entire thing. And so yeah. And so with that being said, I think with being more compact equilibrium, they'll be able to be a lot faster, just more maneuverable around the field. And I think overall, it'll be a great move for them. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would have to agree. The improvements that they made to their robot is really going to help them stand out more in worlds, especially with increasing to the 1+5 on the high pole instead of spreading it out over the like lesser point poles.
Yeah, Jessica.
Yeah, so in 22nd place, we have team 12887 Default Phobos from Chihuahua, Mexico. And you might remember the robot from our reveal night with its signature adaptable compliant wheel intake outtake design. It's definitely one of the more recognizable robots on the show today. As winning alliance captain at the New Mexico State Championship and the new National Mexico Championship, this team definitely has a ton of competitive competition experience, which I think will shine through during the matches this week.
Yeah, no, I'm just so excited to see how they do in Houston, and I was a huge fan of the reveal. I think it came together really nicely. It was a very different style than most other teams, but really fit their team persona super well, and I thought it was just fantastic. Declan, what do you think about this robot?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. With their intake especially, my team used a similar design with those compliant wheels, and it is a very much touch it own it kind of feel where the second those intake wheels will touch the cone, there's no chance of it falling out, and having that consistency really allows the drivers to be able to have like complete faith that the cone won't come out until they want it to.
Yeah, for sure. Caden, let's go on.
All right, in 21st place, we have team 21229 Quality Control from Bellevue, Washington. They're the current world record holder at 297 points and have qualified for the World Championship as the winning alliance captain at the Colorado State Championship. They recently released a video of a 1+10 auto with what looks like a completely new robot. A lot of the design features of the robot look to be the same, with the most notable difference being a new transfer and deposit system. And I'm excited to see how this new robot performs at the World Championship.
Yeah, Declan, any thoughts about this robot?
I would have to agree with the new design. Like their V2 was already good, and now with the V3 improving all of the like the errors of transferring cones between the two mechanisms and being able to have a more consistent deposit, I feel like there's no stopping.
Yeah, my biggest gripe with quality control was definitely not in their autonomous. From my knowledge, they were the first team this season to hit a 1+5 like perfect autonomous in every single one of their qualification matches. But it was really with their teleop and driver controlled period. So this new robot looks a little bit smaller, a little bit easier to control. I feel like they'll be able to pre-extend more easily with that deposit in the arm. So hopefully that turns out really well for them in teleop. Because that was really the only thing limiting them from doing even better than they already did.
I mean, yeah, they added that pull guide on their deposit, and that seems like it's going to help them with consistency and teleop a lot.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Go ahead, Declan.
Right. In 20th place, we have Team 8393, the Giant Diencephalic Brainstem Robotics team from Baden, Pennsylvania. While traditionally not much is known about this team until we see what they bring to Worlds, we have quite a lot of what they have to offer this year. With a consistent 1+5 high auto and a combined teleop and endgame OPR of 96, they are a force to be reckoned with. Equipped with a front intake, side outtake system, Brainstem has an extremely fast cycle time, as their design allows them to just drive up and down between the poles without ever having to turn their robot to score. I'm most excited to see how this team will fare against defense and other similarly designed robots because of the conflicts that it would bring.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how well they drive. Like, they're no stranger to what it takes to win Worlds, do extremely well at Worlds. I mean, they know what they're doing. So I'm sure we'll talk about them again later tonight. But yeah, I can't wait to see what they're bringing to Houston. All right, Jessica, go ahead.
Yep. So in 19th place, we have Team 9956, the Knack from Wisconsin. And so far this season, this team has gotten a lot of awards and was the first picked of the winning alliance in the Wisconsin Championship. They currently have a 1+7 in autonomous, which is made possible by a super clean slanted linear slide lift and extendo intake and very consistent software as well. I'm very excited to see how this team competes in the Edison division, especially since their autonomous has probably gotten even more consistent and impressive during the preparation for Worlds.
Yeah, I think one thing that you brought up is really interesting, Jessica. The fact that they have a 1+7 autonomous. I'm wondering how many teams are going to be running that like 1+5+N autonomous if they're going between like the two shared junctions. Because I think there's just like so much room for collision between the other alliance. So like, what do you guys think? Do you think we'll see a lot of those autos that do all of the cones in that first shared junction, then go over the other side and also do that, or do you think we'll more see just like teams going down to that 1+5, but on that junction in the center of the field near the substations?
Yeah, I think
I
there's
think. Oh, you can go.
I think there's always a risk with going across the field. I mean, a lot of these teams have like 1+10 or it could have 1+7 or something like that. But you never really know how consistent that is. It's definitely like rarer to see 1+ like over 5. And if it's not like 100% consistent, then there's not too much of an advantage to running it in a qual match.
Yeah, so I definitely think that like we'll see more of like the 1+5 plus, on and on in the qualification matches much more than the semifinals. But I don't really think that we're gonna see a lot of it.
I see. Yeah, I mean, this year, like Worlds is just there's so many good teams, and it's just so risky to try and do like the more than six cones because if you need your partner to get that park, right? Like that's just that minimum baseline 20 points in autonomous. That's four cones right there on the high junction. So you need to guarantee that first and then think about getting any more cones. Um, but yeah, speaking of 1+5 plus more cone autonomouses, let's go on to our next team, Team 11260 Upper Creek Robotics. They are another one of our previous world champions, and they definitely have one of a kind design this year. I don't think I've seen any other robot really try to do what they're doing with that turret slides on the front and extension and so many degrees of freedom on the wrist and the claw and just everything. They're just loaded with features. And with the cone uprighting bar, I think that's one of their most unique features on their robot that I think will be really handy at Worlds. We've seen just so many cones like around the field fallen over that teams are now going to have to pick up in order to maximize on their points. And I think Upper Creek is going to be a team that can do that really, really well. And we were talking about those autonomous programs, and they've said that they have a 1+8 autonomous, and actually they have the world record. They're holding it right now with another team 16379 for the most cones and autonomous. So it'll be really interesting to see who wins that race to hit the 1+10 in qualifications, or if it happens at all. Yeah. Declan, you want to go on to our next team?
Yeah. So coming in at 17th place is team 16458 Techno Wizards from San Antonio, Texas. This team has been showing us promising results with a 1+5 and a unique dual rotating turret system that allows this team to seemingly put the robot anywhere they want next to an intended junction for scoring, and the dual rotation system will correct for any misalignments in the chassis. With this unique take on an extension and passive intake design, along with some killer driving, Techno Wizards brings some real competition to the field at Worlds.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen them a couple times on our T25. I think the most notable thing I remember this season is when like they posted a video and they're like 16.458 for FTC top 25. Just thought I think Tyler and I both got a kick out of that. But yeah, I mean they were very strong at Texas State's, being on that finalist alliance. And I mean, come on, like how can you get that kind of a finalist alliance at any competition? Like technical difficulties, Techno Wizards, and Iterative Intentions. That's just three super, super strong teams. And it was kind of crazy seeing all of them, all three together. But yeah, any thoughts, guys?
Yeah, it was definitely a ton of fun to watch, especially in person since I was at Texas State's. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what Techno Wizards has in store for the World Championships. When you compare them now to the beginning of the season, there's been a ton of optimizations and improvements. So I'm super excited to see what they have in store for the World Championships.
Yeah, Caden?
Yeah, I think you guys pretty much like summed it all up.
Yeah, no, Techno Wizards is definitely going to be a team to look out for. Jessica, why don't we go on?
Of course. So in 16th place, we have team 14525 Terabats from San Jose, California. And this team has been very well known throughout the season and has gotten into a few top 25s in the past as well. They have a very consistent claw, linear slide virtual 4-bar robot that has been optimized wonderfully. And I know about like 3 months ago they had a 1+7 autonomous, and it'll be super interesting to see all the improvements and optimizations that they have made since then. And definitely one of my favorite qualities about this robot is how fast it can remove around the field, in order to get both the ownership points and for the circuit. And they're just an overall great team and a very well deserved spot on the top 25 this time.
Yeah, I feel like with Terabats, one thing that's like not talked about enough is their software. I remember seeing videos like earlier this season where they would just put their controllers down, click one button for an automation, and then put a couple cones on that high junction, go over, start on that autonomous cone starter stack. Like that's just crazy. To have the guts to pull that off in an official match. Because practicing that is a completely different thing. But when it comes to match time, being willing to press that button and run that autonomous is really gutsy, and it obviously paid off for them. So I wouldn't be surprised, if we see a Terabats control nomination or just straight up winning it for their division um, at Worlds. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah, kind of building off of what you were saying with all the software like additions that they have on the robot, that really allows them to not have to focus entirely on making sure that they score their cones. More so, it allows them to concentrate on where they want to actually score those cones. So they don't have to spend all this time making sure that they're aligned properly. They just go to the spot, go to the junction, deposit, and then they're right back to grabbing another set.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, seeing them like automatically cycle into the high junction is very interesting. I know our team has something quite similar where I just hold like one button and automatically cycle, and that's always kind of nervous because a robot can just bump you, and then you're just kind of screwed for that portion of teleop. So yeah, it definitely takes a lot of guts to run that in a match.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they decide to run it at Worlds. 11 qualification matches, a lot of chances to try 20 cycles each match. They could definitely give it a go once or twice. But yeah, let's start our top 15. So in 15th place, we have Team 7172 Technical Difficulties from Plano, Texas. TD is one of the few teams this year that has had the opportunity to compete since our last top 25 in March. And so at the Texas State Championship, they were the Finalist Alliance first pick, putting up a max score of 255 points. And this is the match on the screen right now. With Worlds approaching, one of our worries, I think, in general this season has been how TD would fare with a competent or a very competent partner on their alliance. And I think pretty much as expected, they're completely fine. They just shifted over, took a different set of tiles and stayed on their side the whole match and were able to put up those cones. And, I can't wait to see what they'll be doing at Worlds. And since they're in the same division with their old alliance partners, Techno Wizards, who we just very recently talked about, it'll be interesting to see if they decide to partner up again or if they just get paired together in qualifications. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would definitely say seeing them work with other top tier teams in FTC has definitely been interesting because like in the earlier ends of the season, they were kind of just dominating that whole substation and would just let their partners go kind of grab for the 5 stacks on the end. But especially in Worlds when autonomous, those are going to be gone every time. It's really important for them to like have that good dynamics and just having them move over to the side and just use both arms kind of on the left or the right half of the substation really seems to have been working quite well for them.
Yeah, for sure. Caden, why don't we move on?
All right, in 14th place, we have team 19746, the disruptingly robocephalic brainstem robotics team from Austin, Texas. They were the winning alliance first pick at the Texas State Championship and hold the current world record of 297 with quality control. With their pass-through virtual 4x design, this team excels at navigating around the field and scoring on various junctions. And their teleop here is just insane. They're very smooth with driving and placing.
Yeah, no, I think 19746 South Stem is going to be another one of those teams that I could very realistically see winning the Control Award. I watched their Control Award video a couple weeks ago, and I was definitely impressed. Like, I remember they had a match in Texas, maybe one of the grand finals. I don't quite remember, but they got shifted over to the other half of the center line. So they were playing red alliance. They got shifted over to the blue alliance, and their sensor array found the blue alliance tape, locked dead onto it, and picked up and tried scoring a bunch of blue cones. So I'm sure for Worlds they'll have a little color checker also in their code for what color the tape is reading. But still, that was extremely impressive, and definitely takes a lot of software prowess. Yeah, Declan, anything to add, Jessica?
Personally, not personally, sorry. For the South Stem, it's really has come down to their driver practice. It's their driving is just almost it's borderline perfect. Like they almost never mess up. Their placing is very close to being at 100% accuracy. So it's really just come down to making sure that their autonomous is super reliable, which is what they've been working on this whole time between their qualifiers for Worlds and their Worlds debut.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Declan, want to kick off number 13?
So in 13th place is team 11329 Ice Robotics from Bloomington, Indiana. With one of the most visually pleasing robots FTC has seen, Ice Robotics not only has an eye for graphic design, but mechanical as well. With an OPR of 171 set in February, this team has a mind-blowingly efficient and elegant virtual 4-bar plus claw mechanism. This, combined with their fast drivetrain, lets them focus more on the strategy in their games instead of just scoring all the cones.
Yeah, no, I mean, we saw them put something in for MTI, so hopefully we'll see them at an off-season event again. CRI also shouldn't be too far for them, so it'd be really great to see them compete against some of the best at an off-season event. But yeah, I mean, they've been a really strong team just this entire season, and one of those bots that just shows you how far a simpler design and a lot of driver practice can go into this season. Yeah, Jessica, anything to add?
Oh yeah, definitely. So this team is like one of the best reveals I've saw from the reveal night a few days ago. And it's their entire robot is just very impressive. And I love like how much thought they put into like the small details of the robot, you know? It's the small details that make the biggest impact overall, which I think is very nice that they noticed and that they took charge in that.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Our number 12th spot is Team 9889 Cruise Control. They currently hold 4 out of 10 world records with their alliance partner, the Enforcers. And just like every other robot on this list, they have peak hardware, software, electrical, everything. But what really stands out to me is their fluidity on the field. They just do not stop moving. Like they are always, always, always either getting a cone, scoring a cone, or playing some defense against the other alliance, just doing something. And I feel like they're one of the best teams I've seen this season at making on the fly decisions, and 99% of the time they're right about them. And competing in the Franklin division, they have a lot of other heavy hitters. So we'll see if they can set a few more world records. Those qualification matches with the right schedule, we could look at breaking that 300 mark possibly. And Cruise Control would definitely be one of the teams that could do it.
Yeah, they're definitely a contender in their division. It's gonna be interesting to see like how their teleop matches play out, and I guess just them going against another solid teleop team, and like if how defense comes into play. It's gonna be really really interesting to see at Worlds.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Jessica, you want to start us off with number 11?
Yep. So in the 11th place, we have team 12993 Robo Kings Alpha from Australia. And this team has had a very impressive track record this season so far, winning Alliance captain at the Australian National Championship. And I love their very aesthetic robot with a very nice custom pocketing on their custom chassis plates. And they have a very cohesive design in general. And I think this team has a very consistent transfer design to move the cones from the intake to the outtake, and they also have definitely proven to be a strong contender this week at the Houston World Championships with all these impressive features.
Yeah, I mean, like a whole new robot is very impressive. And wow, like what a reveal. I know you were talking about Ice Robotics' reveal. This is another one that really stuck out to me. I think overall, just every single reveal on Fun Reveal Night this season was great. But I think they just have so many different features on their robot, as you said, Jessica. And they're going to be really, really strong. They're also in the Franklin division, just like our previous team, 9889 Cruise Control. So seeing those two together, that would be nuts. But yeah, Caden, let's start our top 10.
All right, in the number 10 spot, we have our first Israeli team so far. It's team 15637 Fata Morgana. They were the Winning Alliance captain at the Israel National Championship and have a very impressive robot with a dual extension, turret design, and a fast transfer that grabs inside of the cone. Fata Morgana has shown how versatile a transfer design can be, as they use linear slides on their intake to ensure consistency during auto, but also cycle flawlessly during teleop.
Yeah, no, they're gonna be nuts. I talked about them a little bit on reveal night. I think their deposit, the length of their arm is like just borderline. Like, is it too long? Is it too short? It really depends on the driver. And I think with the amount of driver practice they've done, it's definitely manageable. But for just like a rookie team to come up and pick up the controllers, I don't think they'd be able to control it really well. And that's definitely why they're so high on this list. Just really, really excellent control of a very well done robot. So, yep. Declan, want to go on?
Yeah, so in ninth place, we have team 8680 Kraken Pinion from McCoy, Wisconsin. This is Kraken Pinion's first time on the top 25 list this year, and they certainly did not disappoint. With an OPR of 130 set in mid-March, Kraken Pinion has an extension intake and turbo V8 style outtake. This team's depositor doesn't seem to miss. With their 1+5 and crazy consistent teleup driving, Kraken Pinion is sure to make a wave in their competition.
Yeah, I mean they're just so strong, and another one of those teams that has that autonomous that scores on the junction nearest the substation instead of the one that's shared between the two alliances. So that'll definitely contribute to their TBP1 in qualification matches. Just making sure it's a little bit more guaranteed than other teams. But what do you guys think about their driver strategy, just overall match play? Any thoughts, Kaden and Jessica?
I think having that pull guide for Telyop just allows them to score super easily. Yeah, it just gives them a lot of versatility when driving.
Yeah, now that you bring up the poll guide, I definitely want to talk about it a little bit with Rule 390 coming out. I think last week sometime. What do you guys think? Do you think we'll see like a lot of tough rulings on robots interacting with each other during autonomous teleop overall? How do you think that'll play out?
Typically at Worlds, at least compared to my region, I guess they're not as strict in terms of like penalties, but I definitely think that could change this year with all the interferences that could possibly happen during the autonomous period. For my predictions, I feel like they won't be as strict in the qualification matches as they will in the semifinals and finals matches. I definitely think they'll definitely be keeping a very close eye on the teams once the competition starts getting a little more competitive.
Yeah, I see it happening like a lot more in autonomous than in teleop because it's like very rare or not as common at all as it is in autonomous for two robots to be going for the exact same junction at the exact same time. It's just a lot more common than autonomous. So I think that's where it'll happen. But don't have to wait long. Matches start in 2 days, so it's gonna be a blast. Yep. Kaden, want to go on to number 8?
In eighth spot, we have team 14179, the Sushi Squad from Redmond, Washington. They ended their season as the Inspire Award second place winner at the New Mexico Regional Championship and have a really unique robot design. With the turret slides and virtual 4-bar, this robot just really reminds me of FRC team 254 Cheesy Poofs from 2019. Super cool robot. And it's honestly just a solid design that you really can't go wrong with.
Yeah, I think I definitely see the parallels you're drawing there, Kaden. I think one of the biggest reasons though is with their software. Being able to move their position of the end effector while moving the lift and the arm at the same time definitely looks really really cool, really professional. Definitely something like Poofs always does. And so I think that's definitely one of the reasons they're a super super strong team. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see them compete in Houston. Hopefully, maybe any off-season events or next season for sure. Yeah. Jessica, want to go on to 7th?
Sure. So in 7th place, we have team 7149 Enforcers from Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. And this team has been absolutely dominating the season so far by winning both Winning Alliance Captain and the Inspire Award at their state championship with a very unique active intake design. and consistent double reverse 4-bar. We recently did a behind the bot with them, and it's super impressive to see how well they integrated software and hardware optimizations together. And this team will definitely be a force to reckon with this week, and I cannot wait to see what they do during the competition.
Yeah, they've done a really fantastic job of implementing that active intake. I really hope they win. Design, innovate, at least are contenders for it in their division. I think they definitely deserve to. They're a super strong team. Declan, any thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. Sorry. I especially like how with their active intake, they really took on the challenge of the 5 stack with rulings of you can't knock it over to actively
Mhm.
intake them, as came about mid-season this year. Their solution was to have that little arm there that would flip down, and its sole purpose is just to grab the cones during the autonomous period, which really allowed them to take full advantage of their active intake and make it as efficient as they could without having to compromise on the 5 stack.
Yeah, another thing that's really interesting to me with that new or like with that autonomous grabber is the fact that like they knew they could use their double reverse 4-bar for autonomous. They just have to turn 180 each time when doing their cycles, but they consciously made the decision to develop a whole new mechanism that worked very well and use that so that they didn't have to turn very much at all in the autonomous period. So a very interesting decision by enforcers, and I'm sure they've had to put a ton of time into that robot to make it as consistent as it is. Yeah. So in number 6, we have our 5th international team of the night, Team 17962, Row 2 D2 from Romania. Based on practice matches, they look to be one of, if not the strongest team coming into Houston, and they have multiple 1+10 autonomous programs, and as far as I'm aware, are the only team to have publicly hit a perfect 277-point match. What stands out to me most about this team is their driving strategy. I remember watching Romanian national championships and seeing their qualification matches, after putting 5, 6 cones on that autonomous starter in that autonomous, they would just go and sit there and teleop for like 30, 35 seconds. I'd be like, what's going on? Like, is something wrong with them? What are they waiting around for? And then it was just like, as soon as 90, 85 seconds hit, something just flipped. And they would just be so fast around the field, scoring cones everywhere they possibly could. And the first match I saw of them, when I went back and watched the footage, I think they didn't lose a single ownership. Like they had claimed every single junction they wanted to with only one cone placed on top of it, so like no points lost at all. And doing that at Worlds is going to be so critical. You need to make sure you get every single last point, especially a game where scores are as close as this one. So really well done by Rochi D2. I can't wait to see what they bring to Houston. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
that's definitely an interesting strategy, just waiting in the beginning of the teleop period. And I think it's something we're definitely going to see at Worlds in the final matches. Yeah, I think it's going to kind of be a challenge of who can wait the longest before they start to cycle so that they can ensure the ownership during the end of teleop.
Yeah. All right. And, as great as our teams are, so are our sponsors. So, Tyler, want to play our Kettering video?
Yeah, we'll actually start a giveaway from our friends at Robotics first. So let's go ahead and do that. So if you're watching live, go ahead and type in Rev Duo. That's going to be your keyword to type in chat right now. Don't forget, you do need to be following in order to be eligible to win. And while that's going, and we'll draw after our number 1. There it is, 2 words, by the way, Rev Duo. So make sure that you do that, and we'll draw for that after our number 1 team. But here's a quick message from our friends at Kettering University.
In They're squeezing their way into the top 5 at 5th place is team 18438 Wolfpack Machina from Beverly, Massachusetts. By now we're all aware of Wolfpack Machina and their robot this year is beyond impressive. With a 1+5 that avoids the opposing alliance interference and a top OPR of 169, this team dominates the competition with a win-loss record of 33-5. Their design is one of a kind, equipped with a special claw that can pick up cones from almost any direction, and a depositor that can deposit off the back and sides. Their bot is ready to score from almost the whole duration of the match. I'm sure we all can't wait to see how they'll do in their division at Worlds.
Yeah, Wolfpack is just one of those teams where I remember Ultimate Goal, they had the world record, I think 707 points or something just absolutely insane like that. And seeing them progress throughout the entire season was just nuts. And, knowing how they hit that full 10 ring autonomous in Ultimate Goal, I cannot see them settling for anything less than a 1+10 coming into Worlds. So, it's not long before we get to see what they're cooking up, but I'm really, really excited. What do you guys think? Jessica?
Oh yeah, definitely. So their robot reveal was absolutely insane. It was like a cinematography, it was like a masterpiece, yeah, cinematographic masterpiece. And it was really impressive to see their robot compete throughout the season and also to see how their robot evolved as well. And this is a super strong team that I think will do very, very well during the World Championship.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's go on to number 4. So in 4th place, we have Team 16379, the Kooky Bots from Sammamish, Washington. We've heard rumors of a new bot for a couple of months now, but it's finally out. We saw them post a great reveal for reveal night, and wow, that is just a ton of carbon fiber. I don't know if I've seen more carbon fiber on any other robot in the past couple years. And this new bot seems to have the same core design as before, but with just a few changes here and there to mechanisms, materials, what have you. And going into Houston, Kooky is currently tied for the in-match solo autonomous record with Upper Creek, who we talked about earlier. And it'll be really interesting to see, if they get to set it again, if someone else claims it. And, I just can't wait to see how it's going to go. And with just 3 teams left to talk about in our top 25, it's kind of shocking to me that Kooky isn't even the top team in their division. Really shows you the strength of the Franklin division this year.
Yeah, the manufacturing on Cookie's robot just blew me away. They posted some pictures of their V3 serve in the FTC Discord. And it was just insane to see that they like completely manufactured their entire drivetrain. Yeah, and then obviously all the carbon fiber around their robot. It's super cool. It's just shown that they put so much effort into that robot, and I want to see them do well in Houston.
Yeah, and on the screen just now we had that 21-second 1+10 autonomous going for those 2 junctions that are shared by the other line. So it'll be interesting to see if they run that. In the reveal video we saw something else for that junction that's nearest the substation. But looks like they have a lot of options. We'll see which one they decide to run at Worlds. But I'm sure it'll be great no matter what. Jessica, you want to go on?
Yep. So in 3rd place, we have team 12599 Overcharge from Portland, Oregon. And this team advanced to the World Championship through the Inspire Award at their regional competition, as well as top ranked in their matches. And they have a very innovative crane-like lift and deposit mechanism that has proven to be very consistent and efficient during both the teleop and autonomous gate periods. And I personally love how smooth scoring is for this team and how simple and easy they make it seem. And I'm super excited to see how their robot plays in the co-ed division this week.
Yeah, no, I think with Overcharged, we've always seen them run 6-wheel drive in the past. Definitely Ultimate Goal and before they were running 6-wheel drive. I think maybe even Freight Frenzy. But shifting to that mechanism this season, very, very interesting. We'll see how it goes for them. I'm sure there'll be a lot more robot-to-robot contact in Houston, but I'm sure Overcharged is prepared for it. Declan, what do you think?
Yeah, I would have to agree with the sheer amount of like autonomous and teleop practice that they've been going through. It's really allows them to have faith in that consistency and be able to like more work with allows them to be able to work with their opponents, with their alliance partners more, and kind of cater towards their needs and towards against the opposing alliances, like
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, Kaden, number 2 for our final top 25 in power play. Who's it going to go to?
All right, this team was third in last month's top 25 and is now ranked second. Coming from Romania is team 19044 Peppers. They were the finalist alliance at the Romanian National Championship and got second place in Spire, which landed them a spot at the World Championship. Now, when I think of Peppers, I just think of speed. Their teleop period is one of the best we've seen out of any robot this season. Having a small robot that can just weave through the poles gives them a huge advantage over many of the teams that they're going to go against. Along with this, their pass-through design with a pole guide that auto-detects the pole allows their drivers to just go as fast as possible and just seamless driver control during teleop.
Yeah, I
no,
would
Peppers. Go ahead, Declan.
I would agree. Like seeing their robot on the field and the improvements that they've made between the Romania qualifiers and the Romania regional championships, they really it's just the drive practice that they did between those two and the like mechatronics and the sensors that they added on between allowed them to excel in their scoring massively. So just thinking of what they have done between the Romania regionals to worlds, I can't wait to see how they'll compete.
Yeah, no, Peppers is just crazy. They are so fast. And as you said, Declan, I cannot wait to see how they do at Worlds. So without further ado, I think we should announce our final Power Play Top 25 number 1 spot. This is going to go to none other than Team 8644, the Brainstormers. Being their final season, I cannot wait to see how they do in Houston. They have just been so reliable this season, and I'm sure they've gotten better. Also, having Spot on their team is definitely a huge plus and huge advantage for them. But a couple of things I want to bring up about them first are, what autonomous do you think they're going to be running? Brainstormers, we know they have the programming prowess and hardware prowess to run any autonomous they want. So what do you guys think they'll be running at Houston?
I mean, I think the consistency of 1+5 is always something that they're going to be looking at when deciding the auto. I'm sure they're probably capable over 1+5. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, consistency is really just gonna be key. If you can get 1+5 every single match, then I think you're pretty solid for your elimination matches.
Yeah, and do you think that they're going to run that 1+5 on the junction that's shared or on the junction between the nearest the substation?
In that case, I think it really depends on the alliance that they're going against and like what their auto is going to do. So, if they have that both their autos like really consistent, and they can just choose between either one depending on the alliance they're going against, um, then that will give them an obvious advantage for ensuring that 1+5.
Yeah, definitely. Jessica, any thoughts?
Yeah, so their team has been extremely strong throughout their existence in FTC, and I think this year will definitely be a really nice finale to their reign as 8644 Brainstormers, and I'm very excited to see how they do at Worlds, and also just I want a really nice wrap up to their season because they're a super cool team, and I'm super excited to see them compete.
Yeah, definitely. Declan, what do you think?
Yeah, they've been working really hard throughout all of their seasons, and it's only ever been improvements from season to season. And I think that this year they really do have a shot at winning the whole thing with how much effort that they've put into this robot.
Yeah, definitely. Making it first to alliance selections and then out of their division and conference. It's going to be a tough road, but if any team's up for it, it is definitely going to be Brainstormers. So I think that's going to wrap up our pre-champs FTC top 25. What teams do you guys all think deserve to be in the top 25 that weren't? Let us know in the fun Discord or comment on the YouTube video. And if you're watching live, our divisions preview show will be starting in a moment.
This video on First Updates Now is made possible by viewers like you and also the following sponsors. Kettering University has over 25 pre-college camps and learning experiences available from computer science and engineering to inspiring future women engineers, leadership development, and first-based camps for first graders to graduating high school seniors. Magna and GM sponsored camp fee scholarships are available. Email ctaylor@kettering.edu for more information. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on our new videos. Keep the conversation going and provide your input to our content. Watch our live shows at twitch.tv/firstupdatesnow. Join our Discord at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow and check out Fun FTC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and First Updates Now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.